Hello, and welcome back to Xpwaste, where as much as I like the heavy metal remix of the Amasket's Promise on the Battle Axes and Ballads tune, it really makes me upset because it makes me want to do TOA, kind of in the same way Arcane makes you want to play League of Legends, and you just know it's not going to be as good as you think. Hi, I'm Oxie.
And I'm Michael. And I didn't just zone out. Anyway, welcome to Xpwaste. We are a show dedicated to old school RuneScape. We're going to talk about news. We're going to talk about things happening in the game. Talk about things we love about the game. And we're going to fill your ear holes with all of that. If you're not new around here, yes, Tiki, we are just getting started. Oxie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited for this week's episode because Michael is hanging on by a thread. He's dying. We started recording at about 10 to 4 p.m. Eastern time because I went home to see my family for my birthday, because that was fun. And I had to get home a little late on Sunday because, as we know, busy woman all the time. I had a lot of things to do, but we're good. I was instructed to keep it brief so we could just get to main title content at some point. He's making a face, but he knows.
You weren't instructed. I was
instructed.
It's just a conversation between you and I that you don't have to bring everybody else along with,
I think it's fun to bring other people along, It really spices up our romantic life,
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyways, I have done so many goddamn perilous moons, KC, this week. I have been the worst GIM teammate ever because I have just held on to shit all week long. I have had the Macabras and the Rapier and the Burning Claws for a week. And thank God nobody else has needed them, or nobody else has needed them when they ask, and then I don't check it for 3 or 4 hours. Because I've just been in the moons forever. And I finally got some upgrades that don't suck for my account. I got Blood Moon Tassets, I got Blue Moon Tassets, and I got a third set of Magabrubras. I know they're called Macoatls, but we just think it's funnier to go Macabrubras every time. Just give them a different name, mix things up a little. But I did get some of those. That feels like all I've done this week. I don't know if I've actually logged into the main because you know what? No, I did log into the main. I was just going around doing random KCs, and I had the untradeable upgrade bug hit me where I was like, damn, dude, I'm going to be pissed if I get Blood Moon Tassets on the main. So, as I've said before, Michael's making a face going, you're an Iron Man, aren't you, Oxie? I've said it once. I'll say it 1,000,000 times over. I like the idea of the genuine gear progression in Iron Man, but I hate the supply upkeep, and I have never enjoyed that aspect of Iron Man, and that, my friends, is why I don't want to do it. Michael, do you know off the top of your head if you can use the crystal saw to build the stash unit?
Yes. Anything that you can use a saw for, you can use the crystal saw. It gives a +3. +4? +3.
I'm going to hope that's true, but I assume it is. Someone just called me stinky. It's probably not me, but Comrade Shaft, why'd you call me stinky? That hurt my feelings. I'm teleporting away now. Jagex Riot says it's true. Man, I've been outed as stinky on the podcast.
No, I think he's confirming the crystal saw. Hey,
I think Jagex Riot's telling me I'm stinky, you rat.
Didn't you get a dupe of the mocha lattes?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh. I guess I was distracted
Michael is so cooked. This is going to be a heater of an episode. I can't wait. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. I have been just doing things on the iron. And by things, I mean about 30 something perilous moons, Casey, just straight through. That's what I've been up to. I have been clocked as a dinosaur guy. That's just been the thing in my life. The crystal saw does work on the thing, which is cool. Of the 4 people who got me gifts and the one extra person who made me a cake, 4 people got me dinosaur things. And the person who made me a cake drew a kind of crudely drawn T-Rex and then put most of the candles in one little corner to make it look like a meteor, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, That's been
amazing.
I've definitely been pinned as the dinosaur guy in my friend group because friends, family, everybody, just dinosaurs everywhere. So that's been the update for my birthday. Thank you all for the birthday wishes, by the way. That was awesome. Thank you. What have you been up to this week, Michael?
I've been kind of busy. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to play a lot because my wife has been out of town. I think I did a couple raids. I was editing on different days this week because Oxie forgot to upload his video on Monday.
Oh my god.
I was set. I was set to like start editing Monday night, and I log onto my computer.
You
go into the drive.
DM me at 9:30 at night.
Yeah. Well, I was ready.
Well, I was not home. I'm sorry. DM me at 9:30 at night and then tells me the next day, yeah, I think I have to call off work because the episode's not done and have to finish. I'm like, don't do that. Don't pin that on me. You can do that bitch in the night. Don't do that.
We've gone over this before, but Oxie likes to act like his assignment is due. He's known about it for 3 weeks, but it's due tomorrow and he has to just get it done. That's how he likes to edit. I like to edit in shifts. So if it's like a 3-hour episode, it takes about 2 hours to edit an hour of footage. And that's when I'm focused. And so it takes about 6 hours. So for me, I like to do 3 hours on Monday, 3 hours on Tuesday, instead of like sitting at the computer for 6 hours straight editing. Because that's just, no, thank you. No, thank you. So I can't do that. We've talked about this. I tried it one time and it was not for me. No siree, not for me. Jagex is calling me out because I've been editing in the recording booth. So I've been going live in the recording booth and editing. And Jax Riot with Brains Falls Red, those two, I've been in there, I would say consistently the most, just hanging out with me, watching me edit. And sometimes it's like, hey, I'm actually needing to take a break. Yapping, taking a break because sitting at a chair and staring at a screen for a long period of time is not good for anybody. So you should scaring us. Francine says scaring us. Yes. So like they'll just be those like I'll have my stream up and I'll say I'll BRB, my mic is muted, and then without warning, I'll just say, hey, I'll come back and it'll scare them. So my wife was out of town. I had to edit, and then my wife got back on Thursday, and I just wanted to hang out with her like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every night that she was back. I was like, I really feel like playing. So I played Monday night and I played a little bit on Wednesday night. But other than that, I've just been kind of chilling, doing some fishing. I feel like I'm at the point in my account where updates are less frequent because the goals that I have are starting to get to where they take a while. Like one of the overarching goals for my account, if you haven't been listening to the show, is I want to get base 85s in 2025. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more skills that are below 85. 7, sorry, forgot fire making. 7 more skills that are below 85. And they're not far off. Like the lowest one is fire making and it's an 80, which it's probably going to take me a day to get that one done. So if I put my mind to it, I can get fire making done. I'd actually like to get to 90 fire making. That one, I think I will go past 85 just purely based on I have a lot of redwoods that I could just sit at a campfire and send them off. And I've heard that if you are chopping redwoods and you don't plan to keep the logs, that chopping a whole inventory and then just lighting a bonfire and then letting that like run out is the most AFK way to chop redwoods. Other than like otherwise you're either dropping them, which you shouldn't do, or you're going and you're banking them. I guess if you're a main account, you could just drop them because like who cares? But starting a bonfire and letting it run out probably is that's what I want to be doing while I'm chopping redwoods. I have 93 wood cutting, and I'm for sure going to be getting 99 before I get 99 fire making. So probably will have to go do a little bit of winter Todd or just burn like the magic logs that I have. Tiki says that he fletched arrow shafts. Not a bad idea. I mean, I don't know that like the only thing that I could think to use those on would be broad arrows for fletching, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know that I can make redwood arrow shafts, so I'm only 84 fletching. Oh, I guess one notable thing is me, Ralph, and Fear. We went, I think it was Monday night. So the Monday night that I was planning to edit, but I didn't. Me, Ralph, and Fear were doing raids. And I was like, let's go for a backpack run. We got all the way to Zebek, and then Ralph died. And then we restarted, and then I think I died in Akka. So not yet. Almost there. I'm gonna try and do more actual like just straight 300s to get used to the higher invocations. Some of the different things that you enable, like Mind the Gap. Don't really like Mind the Gap, but it's free. It takes a little bit more thought. I still hate Aerial Assault, but that one's also free. I do want to learn Insanity. Penetration can go to hell. That's the worst invocation ever. The one that turns your prayers off and like gives you chip damage during wardens. Ugh, it's the worst. Yeah, so I was very confident going into that we could get it done, because I think technically it was a 350 without Insanity. There was another invocation, I can't remember which one it was, but we did like a level 3 Akka, and then the last one was supposed to be Zebek, because like we didn't want to level up Akka again. We're like, oh, we have to go Akka and then Zebek. We got to Zebek as the last room, and then run's done. But we did get it. We did complete the 300, but no purple, and still no thread for me, which is insane. It's a 1 in 50, so like I can't really complain. But it just, when you don't have thread after losing it, it's like, why? The 1 in 50 just feels so long to not have that quality of life that you were used to. It sucks. I wish there was more, like, I wish the dry protection still worked after you lost it. Like, sure, if you have the divine rune pouch or whatever it's called active on your account, it's a 1 in 50. But if you don't have it, it goes back to a 1 in 10, just to give you that dry protection again. But I guess they can't code it that way. But anyway, we are getting to main title content a little sooner than we normally do. There was a comment last week's episode. Somebody said, I don't mind the 90 minutes of, wait, hold on. Let me actually read it.
Dude, I've been signed out. I've been signed out of our Spotify for podcasters on my phone.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the new password that we set. So you'll have to DM it to me later, because I could not sign in, and I get push notifications for so much stuff, but I'm unable to like actually look at it.
Oh, it sends you the notification, but it doesn't let you access it?
Yeah,
That's
it's the
cringe.
strangest thing. Yeah, it is. It's super cringe.
So on YouTube, Brian says, TBH, 90 minutes of RuneScape content is too much for my favorite fencing podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shout out to you,
That's
Ryan.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Ryan, a man of culture.
So if we want to get to the main channel content sooner, which is Oxie's 90 minutes of fencing, we're going to have to get through the RuneScape stuff quickly.
Like, dog, I did an open house on Friday, so I could talk all about it, man. Shit's my,
I mean, you're
my life.
You're wearing the fencing shirt today.
I am, yeah. I wore it. I was gonna wear it on Saturday. We went on our boat cruise, but my mom got me a fancy Hawaiian button-up gay boy dad shirt, so I wore that instead. So I opted to wear the Summer Nationals shirt. It's got the Summer Nationals logo on the back, but I opted to wear this one today. Like I said, best fencing podcast around.
I would venture to say that in the entire world, even in parallel universes, that you are the only fencer who has an Old School Runescape podcast.
You never know. I only say you never know because I don't know. Like, I feel like we know a majority of the Old School Runescape podcasters out there, and fencing's not been brought up. And I don't think it's because not a lot of people fence. I think it's actually the opposite. Not a lot of people make Old School Runescape podcasts.
Right.
Like, I know for a fact I'm not the only person who plays OSRS and fences. I've met a couple people who either do or used to. Like I said, there was that guy, Nick, at Nationals. My coach plays Old School. I've had people in here talk to me about how they used to fence like foil of all things, which is horrible, but what can you do? I'm a saber fencer, by the way. The 3 people who understand what that means are gonna get a kick out of that one. But yeah, I think it's because not a lot of people do this.
Yeah.
You know, so make more RuneScape podcasts, I guess, and then maybe we can have more in common.
And maybe we can have them on, and then you guys can do a real fencing podcast.
Could be fun.
Could be fun. But today is another very special day during the summer of 2025, because Jagex has another summer sweep blog that we're going to read for you word for word. Not really word for word. We're just going to go over it.
I was going to say, boy, I hope it's not word for word.
Like, objection, Your Honor. Right off the bat. But a lot of this is just going to be Slayer changes, which like I'm not mad about. I'm quite happy. literally all of these changes. Nothing in this blog has made me like tilt my head and ask why. There is a thing that made me tilt my head and ask why that we didn't talk about. Like, I think it was last week. They actually pulled some QOL stuff. And I'm sitting here scratching my head like, Jagex, why are we pulling this stuff? Why does this stuff have to go to a poll? Why do you have to ask the player base if it's okay?
Was this the poll 85 that came out recently?
To like change stuff in the clan chat. Why? They've done clan chat changes in the past without a poll. And now they're asking for our opinion on clan chat change. Doesn't make any sense. It's like straight down the line yes votes because everything was fine. But literally, like, why are we asking, Jagex? Why? It's just sometimes it's confusing. It's like all the stuff in the summer sweep, unpulled changes. But then all they're asking is like, should we make it to where notifications are bunched together? Who's gonna vote no to that? Did you vote on that poll yet?
I did, yeah. I voted, yeah. It's a blanket yes.
It's a blanket yes for everything. I don't think QOL stuff like that should be polled. Now, going back to the silliest question ever, should they lower the volume of the nail beast? That kind of stuff, sure. But at that point, people are just going to vote no because it's a meme. It's a fine line. And they haven't found it, but
they will. They'll get there. They're trying their best, you know?
They are. So here's starting us off here in the new summer sweep blog called Slayer and Misk. Probably one of the things that I am most excited for right off the bat is the new blocklist changes. Slayer as a skill has not gotten a lot of updates, particularly in Old School. I mean, they probably changed it around in RS3, I'm sure. We're not privy to that knowledge, but like they've been doing a lot of great things with Slayer. And I think this one, if I had to make a bet, if I had to say, here's a list of outcomes, here's a list of things that could happen, and I want you to bet on which one you think will happen, it wasn't what they proposed. Because never would I have thought that they would have allowed us to block tasks via a menu. Never would I have thought that they would have lowered point thresholds. Because all of this stuff seems to me like quote unquote easy escape. And Jagex is not too fond of catering to the people who dislike easy escape. I'm all for it. I love this stuff. But generally, when they are thinking of things to change, I think that Jagex sometimes thinks too much of the opinion of people who don't like easy escape. And they're like, no, we won't do that. But they're just going for it. Unpulled changes, by the way. So first off, Slayer blocklist changes. What's the TLDR here? Basically, you're going to be able to have a separate block list for each individual Slayer master. So if you have your Turiel skips, you have a different block list for doing that sort of Slayer. If you want to have, they call out essentially, you have your Turiel skips, those people who want like Zuck tasks and Inferno and Jad tasks, and then people who want a lot of XP per hour.
Mm-hmm.
But each and every Slayer master is going to have a separate block list, which I think is really, really cool. And they're also going to be changing it to where starting at a lower Slayer level for these lower Slayer masters to achieve a block list is going to take less points. So starting with Turiel, it's only 40 points to block a task. And then it scales all the way up to 100 when you hit Duradel and Curadel and Crystalia for Wilderness Slayer. But, you know, never in my 33 years of life would I have thought that we would see an update like this. I'm very, very excited.
What update did you think we were going to get when they talked about Slayer changes?
Things that seem realistic are like changing the weighting of things. Something like where they combined all the metal dragons. That seems more in line with what they usually do. But some of this stuff is like, you're blowing my mind here, Jagex. And I don't know if I'm being over dramatic, but it does make me very happy.
So over dramatic how?
This
is not the reaction from you I was expecting. You seem very like, I can't tell if you're mad about it or if this is the like biggest update you've seen in your life. This is bigger than new skills or TOA or any of the other sick ass announcements that we've seen. I just can't tell what's what here, you know?
So I'm not upset. I'm actually the opposite. I'm very excited. And I think it might be apprehension because none of this stuff is going to be pulled. So there's still the chance that it gets changed right before it gets released. We've seen that consistently with different updates because people start to give feedback, people complain, they go and change things. So to me, this type of update, it's almost too good to be true. Like, I love every single part of this, of the Slayer block list. Like, they're lowering the points to start blocking things. They're lowering the points to unlock different things, and they're lowering the points for task storage. Those are three pretty huge things that people strive for within the Slayer skill. That makes it that's a big foundation of the skill, is like acquiring points to unlock things to train the skill more efficiently.
I'm very glad they're doing it the way they have, because the one that stood out to me was the damn Slayer rings, because I never used Slayer rings ever, and people were like, "Oh, why don't you get it?" I'm like, "Bro, I ain't spending 300 points on that shit." So I'm really glad they ended up not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's 150, which, basically everything's getting cut in half, which to me, chef's kiss. Let us have it, please. I think there's just some sort of apprehension. There's a level of apprehension for me not to want to get too excited, because at the time of recording, none of this has gone into the game, and we don't actually know when it's set to go into the game. Generally, they release these blogs, they collect feedback, and then at some point in the future, 1 to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they're just like, they'll spring it on us. So it could already be in the game. It could not. We have no idea at this point, because the blog came out like less than a week ago.
When we're recording, as of Sunday, came out less than a week ago. So there could be some changes, obviously, still to be made. I'm a fan of the block list. I'm mostly excited for it. I think, as someone who is a little anti-Easyscape, I don't think it's a bad update. I think it's just going to be so monumentally different from how we've done Slayer. It's going to be an adjustment. Not in a bad way, just an adjustment in the sense of, like, I feel it's going to be like jarring. Like, when you get into leagues for the first time and the Slayer Master's like, "Hey, pick your Slayer task." And you're like, "What?
Yeah.
You want me to pick what?"
Yeah.
Like, that's a little weird, because, I know we haven't had that in a couple of leagues where you get to choose your own task or what have you, but that's the kind of vibe that I get from this update, is like, it's going to be good, but it's going to be confusing at first. The Metal Dragons changes. I don't even know where we are on the blog. We're just kind of like moving through things like randomly. This is not nearly as coordinated as our last summer sweep up episode. That's for damn sure. But looking over here at this block list is cool. The ability to efficiently block things is going to be cool as hell. Mainly for me, it's going to be with Turiel boosting and Turiel skipping. I don't do a lot of Zuck tasks. Shocker, I know. And I don't really need Slayer XP anymore. Having a Konar block list is going to fuck.
Yeah.
Let's just take that into consideration. Having a Konar block list is going to fuck so insanely hard. That's going to be great.
Separate from, like, the shitty tasks that you have, like, you don't want to block on like Duradel. Some of them suck, like Bloodvelds. The option to get Bloodvelds via Konar
anywhere
sucks,
but the lab is terrible.
So just like
neck reels in the Slayer Tower.
Yeah, who wants to do neck reels? It's not something I want to do. So there are certain tasks I'm like, do I want to go kill neck reels with a sword? No, I want to burst those. I want to barrage them. So definitely not going to do it if I'm doing Konar.
It's going to be nice to do like worms and drakes. I feel like with Konar, you're looking very specifically for like Hydra tasks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like you could probably now craft a Hydra only, quote unquote, like really likely to get a Hydra task block list with Konar. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this. They've not actually said how they're going to do this, but this is what I would suspect. And this is what I caution our listeners against. When this update comes out, I don't care what level you are. I don't care how much Slayer you've done. Talk to Duradel first. Talk to Duradel or Crystalia or what's her name? Curadel. Talk to them first, because these different point thresholds, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, from Turiel all the way up to Duradel and Crystalia, respectively. What I don't want to have happen to you guys is you go to like Turiel because you're in the middle of Turiel skipping, and you get refunded 5 tasks worth of blocks from Turiel. So instead of getting what's that? It's 4 by
200.
4 by 5, 200 points instead of 500 points. I doubt that's going to happen. Jagex, I think, is a little bit sharper than that these days. And I think if they're aware that that's a possibility, they're just going to give you the full 100. They might refund your points without even
even
looking
talking.
at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you might just like go up to Duradel and like, oh yeah, by the way, you have 2,000 points because we refunded all this other shit that you bought, which is going to be kind of nice. Like I have, I think I have something like, oh god, what do I have? I know I have ring bling on the iron. I know I have task storage on the main, and I know I have a pretty chunky block list on the main of just tasks I fucking hate, like aberrant specters and oh god, fire giants and like
Fire
various metal
giants,
dragons
yep.
and shit like that. I don't know if they're going to refund points. I don't remember if they said they're going to refund for blocks because I don't think you get points back when you unblock something. I know you don't.
You don't, but
So
from what I understand, they're going to be clearing everybody's block list. So you'll essentially start Slayer with, if you have a block list right now, when this update goes live, you should be
look
starting.
At that. Any points you spent will be refunded.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you'll be starting with a blank block list so that you can build it out with each individual Slayer Master separately. This is going to cost more points over time. So if you wanted to like block Abbey Demons or like if you want to block a specific type of creature on 2 different Slayer Masters, like on Konar and Duradel, you'll have to block it twice, which kind of sucks. But it is a little cheaper. Konar is only going to be 80 points versus Duradel and Kuradel is 100. So it's a little bit cheaper, but you still will have to block it twice. That's why I think you're absolutely right, Oxie. You'll have to like sit down and really think about like, what task do I want to do? What is the outcome that I want when I go to this Slayer Master? With Kuradel and Duradel, honestly, you're probably just going to try and get like XP tasks, things that you can barrage, things that you can like unlocks if you want to get Araxites. If you really want to kill Cerberus or Sire, like look for the tasks you want to do, block everything else that's a high rating. With Konar, Hydra, with Wilderness. This is what I want to talk about specifically. Wilderness, I'm excited for because you can build your block list around skeletons, bears, spiders, and Rev. Those are the 4 main tasks that people look for within the Wilderness, that I would think, at least. So you can kill the Wilderness bosses and you can kill Revs on task. Not that you need to kill the Wilderness bosses on task, but that extra damage does help.
So much nicer.
Yeah.
Dude, Wildy Bosses on task rule. The Wildy Boss block list itself is going to be like, because what are you blocking in the Wilderness, right? Realistically, I feel like if you're crafting a block list, you craft it towards Revenants.
Yes.
Right? Like you have to craft the block list around Revenants specifically. So assuming that they're not switching the weighting of Crystalia's things, which I don't think they are. I know they're changing dragon tasks in total, and they're kind of lowering the average. Though I don't know if they're doing that in the Wilderness. Are they? They're not touching blue dragons. They're not touching black dragons. Metal dragons are changing. So let's look at Crystalia's task list, like weighted wise. I would block greater demons. I would block black demons. I'd block hellhounds, fire giants, aviancies, and then assuming you get another, because you get 6 block slots, right? I think it's 6 block
7
slots.
So if you have like the quest
7 because you got damn. Okay, 7, dude. That's axes, ice warriors, hellhounds, fire giants, aviancies, black demons, and greater demons. You block all that shit, and then you end up with something like look at everything else on the list, right? Anku, cannonable. Because if you're looking on the wiki, I went to Crystalia's page, looked at everything in her like high to low weighting order. Greater demons, cannonable, sure, just in very deep Wilderness, right? These are things I would try to like get rid of because I just don't like doing like highly weighted tasks. Like greater demons, honestly, might be worth keeping because they're in the Wilderness Slayer Cave. I know black demons are too, but with the amount of health that they have, I don't really care. Aviancies and fire giants, absolutely get rid of them. Hellhounds, cannonable in the Slayer Cave, sure. Ice warriors, get rid of them. Magic axes, get rid of them. Anku are cannonable. Bears are a task. Earth warriors are a joke because they're in level 6 Wilderness. Ice giants are cannonable. Lesser demons are cannonable. Mammoths are cannonable. Scorpions are boss task. Spiders are a boss task. Spiritual creatures, get rid of those. Abyssal demons are burstable and cannonable.
Ooh.
Chaos druids kind of suck now.
But how like highly weighted are they? They can't be that high.
But there's nothing on Crystalia's list that is super high. It's like mostly boss tasks are high.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think like, I'm trying to like theory craft what is best to get, because Revenants are only weighted at a 5.
Oh, really?
So Revenants are like kind of low on the average to begin with. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of the boss level tasks, scorpions, spiders, bears, skeletons, they're not, you don't get a lot of them. Skeletons are actually the same weight as Revenants. And funny enough, lower than spiders, scorpions, and bears. But
I think overall, though,
I don't know.
I think overall you're going to be able to craft a pretty juicy wilderness specific block list that's not going to mess with Out of the Wilderness Slayer. Like you could for right now, there are people out there who have a really juicy wilderness block list, but then they go and do Slayer outside of the wilderness and it absolutely sucks. Because it's like,
oh yeah,
you never get ice giants outside of the wilderness. You never get chaos druids outside of the wilderness. So it's like getting really shitty tasks. So this is good, really good overall. I think I said this was my favorite part, and it absolutely is. In this kind of section, the whole metal dragons thing makes me very, very happy. And at the same time, kind of sad. And I'll tell you why. Metal dragons, they kind of suck, but like adamant and rune dragons don't really suck. Because they're so, like, you get so few of them if you haven't extended them. So if you just block metal dragons altogether, you don't get the opportunity to have those quick tasks. But then if you leave them unblocked, you have the option to get metal dragons like the steel and the bronze and the iron. It's like I love this because I'm just gonna block metal dragons and never have to worry about them. But then on the flip side, I'm like, but now I don't have the chance just to go and do a quick 5 rune dragons task and get it done.
Hear me out. The metal dragons change is absolutely insane, and it's really good. Hear me out. Metal dragons change can still be done quickly, right? So they're adjusting dragons. Where do they talk about dragons? They talk about that. We've skipped a little bit of the blog here.
We did
the point changes, but honestly, that's so early game. We can get back to that. They've set the default quantity between 20 and 40 for all metal dragons. The extended quantity is between 150 and 200, right? Let's say on the high end, you get 40 metal dragons. That's a lot of dragons, right?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty certain bronze dragons in the catacombs, they only have 120 something hit points, and they're pretty easy to kill. Bronze dragons die fairly fast. As well as, I want to say iron dragons are in the same vein. They have 165 HP. So if you go to bronze dragons in the catacombs, like you could rip them things up with a lance and multi-combat, even if you get 40.
Yeah.
Like it's quick enough where it's not going to take forever. But why I think this is a really good change is bingo.
Yeah.
You know how much it sucks to finally get an adamant dragon task, and it's 7 adamant dragons.
Yeah.
And you're hunting a fucking 1 in 1,000 drop. You get 7 adamant dragons. I think if you're really going for collection log, it's going to be nice quality of life, which is the whole vein of this update, right? It's going to be nice quality of life to be able to get here's 180 rune dragons you have to kill on task. That's a shitload of money, especially for an alt, because like rune dragon alts are fairly common. I think it's a good change in that way. I think it's a good change because it's also still quick, right? Like it's not going to be painfully long to have to do like, now I have to do 40 rune dragons.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Right.
You don't have to do 40 rune dragons. You can do 40 iron dragons and just call it good,
Okay.
Like
that was one thing that I realized way too late reading this, and I hope this is true. When they say they're combining all of the metal dragons into one task, does that mean that a Slayer Master is going to say, I want you to kill 200 metal dragons, and then you just get to pick what you want to kill? Okay, never mind.
That's what it says.
I think it's great. And there's nothing bad about this because I was sitting here thinking that, yes, metal dragons are all going to be lumped together into one block, but they were still going to break them out and give you a random one each time. So it's like, I don't want to extend the iron, steel, and bronze in Mithril. I'd rather just do adamant and rune for the potential of having, the rare drops. Like I would like to extend those, but not the other ones. But yes, you're right. If this plays out the way we think it does, metal dragons just means you get to pick whatever type of metal you want to kill.
Yeah.
That's great. I think honestly, dude, they should do that for some of the other ones too. So there should just be demons. Like, hey, go kill 100 demon. And then you get to pick black, tormented, the greater, abyssal. Like you just get to pick. There are some other categories, right? But like they should do it specifically for the demon. I think that if we ever get another like Slayer QOL, Jagex, you're listening, please combine the demons.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I guess there is some sort of like, there's something to be said about the level at which you unlock the demons. But like, there's so many different types of demons that it could just be nice. Because some of them, like with Skotizo and with Krill, you can kill them on 2 different types of tasks, like a greater or a black. With Skotizo, you can.
Krill is the only one, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, never mind then. Krill is just a greater demon. You do have a black demon in the encounter. So if you had a black demon task, but you wouldn't go to Krill for just a black demon.
Exactly. This is where I think the nuance of like Easyscape and Slayer gets a little complicated for me as a boomerscape enjoyer. Metal dragons are mostly just inconvenient. Nobody wants to do a steel dragons task. I think I have both iron and bronze dragons blocked on my main because I just don't want to do those tasks. Just don't want to do them, right? Whereas because all of the demon variants have their quirks and perks, if that makes sense, you get lesser demons. What do? You go cannon them fuckers and you try to get yourself a lesser demon champion scroll. Or honestly, maybe you try to go for one of those Yama contracts in the Chasm of Fire with the lesser demons. I don't know if they drop them. Maybe you can go for it. You get black demons. You can do Skotizo. You can do black demons in the catacombs are fairly AFK if you're using melee. They're safe spottable if you're using range in the Brimhaven dungeon. They take 2,000 years, but they're AFK as hell. Or you can do demonic gorillas, which are a pretty good source of income, right? Pretty good money. And then, of course, with greater demons, the world's your oyster. You could kill regular greater demons, also pretty AFK in the catacombs. You could also go to Krill, which is 2 greater demons per kill, by the way, because, God, what's his name? Is it Tucson, whoever? I think Zaknil Gritch is the
other melee one,
mage.
right?
Yeah, it's the melee one is considered a greater demon. So in Krill, there's a greater, a lesser, and a black demon, and Krill, who's a greater demon. So in Krill, you get 2 greater demons per kill. There's tormented demons with greater demons, which drop necessary upgrades. As an Iron Man, you're hunting for them yourself, as well as like a pretty decent chunk of money. And with the Doom of Macchiato that's come out yesterday, that has been confirmed to be Demon Bane. If I was a betting man, let me look it up. As of Sunday, synapses are 53 mil. I would bet those are maybe a little higher today because the Doom is a demon. The variance between dragons and demons is similar, but so different in the different things you can do. Metal dragons just have stand there and get the shit beat out of you. Like that is the mechanic of metal dragons. Yeah. Extended super anti-fire pot, DFS, lance, prey melee. And then with the other higher level ones like Mithril, Adamant Rune, there are some more like kind of irritating mechanics that you just have to like either chip away your health or force you to pay attention, right? I don't think metal dragons are very fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm not itching for a greater demons task. Sitting in the catacombs AFK isn't the most enjoyable thing in the world. However, I think the difference in the things you can do, you can't do Yama on task, Tiki has said, I would believe that. But even so, there's enough variance with greater demons that without Yama, it might not be the end of the world. We might be able to do the Doom on task. Who knows? Who's to say? They haven't confirmed nor denied that you can or can't do the Doom. The Doom is a demon. That's a greater demon if I've ever seen one, unless they release a new type of demon with the Doom. Maybe there's a new jungle demon variant that comes out. That could be fun. I don't know. they did it like Grardor where he's special. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Where like the Yama is a boss task then. Even so, I just think the category of demons, that feels like an easy escape that I wouldn't be okay with.
Yeah.
The Metal Dragon, clumping those together is seems like huge QOL, but I feel like clumping demons together is you're just catering to people who complain about having to hunt to go get their synapse.
True.
You know?
You've convinced me. I think you're absolutely right. I didn't even consider the amount of variety when it comes to different types of bosses that you would have access to with just a simplified demon category. Like, go kill 200 demons. Okay, now you have like Sire, you have Krill, you have TDs,
Sire.
you have like all of these
Abyssal
things.
demons are in there too. Yeah, right.
You have so many different boss
I was like, Sire's not a greater demon. You're right. He's an abyssal demon, but like that's
Yeah. So you're right. I think I'll retract my suggestion.
What is a Necreel?
That's a great question because they're technically a demon, but they're not. They are, but they're not a standard type of demon that we're used to. We don't have a lot of humanoid looking demons.
I mean, it says it's a demon.
Yeah.
Which to me, if
Would
they're
fall
demons
within that, yeah.
I mean, they fall within demons. So would that theoretically mean that they are weak to demon bane shit? I imagine they are. The difference is they have such a low magic level that they're so easy to burst. It doesn't really matter.
Right. Very rarely do you see people using like anything but ancients to kill Necreals. I've done it. And I think it was just because like I really wanted to just chill or I had a Konar task.
Yep. I'm looking it up here on the wiki. Alternatively, meleeing Necreals in the Slayer Tower can provide excellent melee experience rates with a Demon Bane weapon such as the Emberlight and bonus Slayer experience when you complete the Mauritania Diaries.
Oh, yeah.
So while objectively that's a much slower way to do it, it is absolutely viable because they are demons. But yeah, that you bring up another good point. If they said go kill demons, go kill demons, go kill demons, you just machine gun those burst tasks over and over again, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It would be a massive like change that I think would fall outside of the QOL. That to me might fall under like a rework in the scope
Not a good
of
one.
Well, I'm just saying like if we were categorizing it, that type of change supersedes what could be considered just a general quality of life. The Metal Dragons, 100% just quality of life. There are so few different types of dragons that there's not a lot of variety in when you have a Metal Dragons task. You're not going to kill a boss. You don't kill something that's not technically a dragon that we wouldn't think is a dragon. Like you literally, all the different metals, take your pick. So it's easy. It's a nice, easy thing to wrap your brain around. Again, I retract my statement about the demons because you're absolutely right. So if you've commented on the video and you said, Michael, you're so dumb, demons would do just you can leave it, but we're all gonna laugh at you.
Can I get at least 4 of you to comment, Michael, you're so dumb, the demons? Please. Like, can I get at least 4 or 5 of you to comment that exact thing? And then we can take a screenshot of it and put it in the Discord and think it's funny that people think Michael's dumb for this demon opinion.
They're already doing it in the recording booth. Let's go.
Again, don't actually be mean. Just Michael, you're so dumb. The demons, something like that. That'd be great. This is episode 204. Thogert and anyone else who is curious. Speaking of demons, kind of related, Mazkina. Mazkina? How do you say that name? Mazkina? Mazkina? That's how I've always
said it. Mazkina.
They're boosting points for Mazkina and Vanica. This feels like the most like cool update. I don't know. Like, I don't think on any account as an experienced player you're gonna ever use Vanica or Mazkina.
I mean, yes, early Slayer you use Vanica, but like early Slayer, I don't think about like anything in Mauritania early game. I guess you do.
Early game, the thing is, early game, you quest.
Yeah.
You knock out 4 or 5 tutorial tasks so you
done.
can start getting points, and you quest your way up with Slayer,
absolutely.
correct? Because you can do Poor Sign of Interest, which gets you like 1,000, maybe even 5,000 XP. It gets you some level of Slayer. And then you do the natural history quiz in the basement of the museum.
It's another 1,000.
In Varrock. And then you're training up your combat level because Slayer Masters aren't based on Slayer level. They're based on combat level. The only one that is based on combat level is the Shiloh Village Master. So Duradel or Curanel or Curadel. I always blank on her name, which requires 50 Slayer. Everyone from Turiel up to Steve or Neve, RIP, require one Slayer, but several different combat levels. So like if you get to 70 combat, which really is not hard to do, you can get to Kaldar pretty quick. You can get to Kaldar fairly quick, gives you 10 points per task. That's not too bad, right? Yeah. That's not too bad. At what is it, 8 or 10 points a task, something like that.
Now that you mention it, Machina, he's 20 combat.
Yeah, 20 combat.
You fly past 20 combat.
Where I think this actually is going to thrive is with brand new players. I just saw a video. Oh God, I want to say it was like OSRS Theories or something. What's this dude's name? OSRS Theories. What Theory-wise? I think. Let me look it up. Is he an OSRS guy? Yeah, Theory-wise OS. Old School RuneScape's new player problem posted like just over 2 weeks ago, and this episode comes out. He brings up a really good point in the video that like there's only two kinds of OSRS players: the explorer who just fucks around and tries things, and the follower who just watches guides. If you're not the kind of player that watches guides or streamers or wikis or what have you, I was an exploratory player. I did several tasks at Vanica when I was coming up in the chain because I didn't know how to efficiently train combat to get to Kaldar. And then I did way too much Kaldar and then way too much Konar because Konar was the new hotness when I started playing again. Konar was new and cool. And I went to Konar. You know how many dog shit tasks I did because Konar offered the most available points before 100 combat? Yeah. Dude, I was raking in points from Konar and doing just the worst, like Black Demons in the Brimhaven dungeon, Bloodveld's in the Slayer Tower, like just the worst tasks possible because I was getting so many Slayer points. It was so cool. So I think this is helpful for those lower level players who are brand new to the game and are just like, yeah, I'm going to earn points. I'm going to do it in an efficient way by getting like higher points. Like, okay, whatever. It's not the most efficient way to get points, but if you want to have fun, this is a good update. Yeah. Tiki said the intent is to make it less wrong. Like there's less wrong ways to play.
I agree with that.
And yeah, I like that. I like that. That's a good change.
That sums it up.
Thogger, you think you've seen the video too? It's definitely worth the watch. Theory-wise, OS. Shout out to them. The one video I've seen, I liked quite a bit. So
yeah, dude, that sums it up to me. There's just less wrong ways to play. Right now, there are, and it sucks to say this, but like there are wrong ways to play this. Inefficiency is in itself not wrong. There are certain things that have come out that have made like how you play this game just kind of obsolete. Like Oxie says, no one really goes to Vanica or Moskina because you're probably going to fly through the combat levels doing all the quests that you've done to where you have 70 combat. And like Chaldar just makes sense. And you've done Fairy Tale because you wanted to get the fairy rings. So what they're doing here is just making it more fun for people who aren't playing the most efficient. And it's like it's bridging the gap between efficiency and inefficiency, which is great.
Well,
you don't agree? Do you not agree that it's great, or do you not agree that they're bridging the gap?
I don't agree with the term efficiency being used with Moskina and Vanica, but I don't think it's about efficiency. And I think it's a great change. And I don't care that it's not about efficiency. I don't think there is ever a technically efficient way to utilize these two Slayer Masters unless you are locked in some way. Because the most efficient way to do it is to not train Slayer, immediately rip Waterfall Quest and all those other ones to get you to like 45 combat, train Slayer via questing, train Slayer via the natural history quiz, train prayer via questing and whatever other things you do, and then suddenly, bam, you've ignored the first 3 or 4 Slayer Masters. You're right at Keldar, 10 points per task once you get your 5th task. I think Mazkin and Vanica will never fall within the efficient route of training Slayer on a new account. But it's fun. And you know what? Hell yeah. I don't know. That's
What Animal Magnetism is the only quest that I know in the early game that you actually need a Slayer. You need 18. So I don't actually know.
Like, it's less than 30.
Yeah, I don't even know if doing like the portion of interest and the history museum will get you to 18. So you're gonna have to do a little bit, but you might be at 70 combat by the time you're doing Animal Magnetism.
I was just say, but the point is, right? You get 70 combat, 70 or 75 combat with doing Lost City, which I'm pretty sure also gives some sort of, it gives access to the dragon weapons, I know. So like, yeah, Kaldar 70 is not particularly hard to get to. And a task from Kaldar could be well enough to get you the XP you need to get to 18.
That's true.
You get one task from Kaldar. You get one, like, hey, go kill fire giants literally anywhere. You get 80 fire giants, and then suddenly, bam, you know? Like, quest rewarding Slayer XP, there are some. I mean, like, General Shadow is a mini quest that probably shouldn't be too hard to do. I know Royal Trouble has some requirements. Lair of Tarn Razor Lore, probably, I don't know if that requires Slayer at all. It does. It requires 40 Slayer. I don't know. I think a lot Perilous Moons gives 40k Slayer XP.
Wait, what?
Huh? Damn.
That's huge.
Perilous Moons gives 40k. It's 48 Slayer requirement, but 40k Slayer XP is wild.
That's like a couple levels at least if you do it right at 48. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. General Shadow, I was like, oh yeah, this is super easy to do. You just need to do that one ghost request, like the one fight arena. No, you got to do Desert Treasure 1. So I was gonna say, because you don't get a lot of like freebie Slayer XP.
No.
But
was there anything else from Slayer that you wanted to touch on? Because like what we have left is the herbs.
Herbs aren't going to be noted anymore.
Woo.
Anyways, other changes. They're adding a new type of enemy.
Ooh.
Or they're expanding a type of enemy that may have already been in the game.
I think it was in the game. But this just makes
Golem Bane.
This makes some gear that you might have in your bank more or less useful, depending on how you look at it. So gargoyles are going to be considered golems, which is cool. And then they're changing the granite hammer to be a golem bane weapon. This opens up a new category. So in the future, we could retroactively see changes to other weapons, like maybe the granite maul becomes a golem bane. Who knows? But for now, they're starting with the granite hammer, and it's going to give you 30% damage increase against gargoyles, aka golems. So this includes Dusk, Dawn, and any superiors. So the superior gargoyle. Pretty neat.
You know where this could be really, really fun? What's coming out that they could really play on the whole Golem Bane thing?
I don't know.
Blood Moon Rises.
Oh.
There could be brand new Golem typed enemies that are weak to Golem Bane within or around Vampirium. Hell, we might even get, like, you know how in the catacombs there are, like, instead of aberrant specters, there's abhorrent specters, mutated blood velds. We could get some like buffed up version of gargoyles that are a little bit more active to kill.
Ooh.
Think like Basilisk Knight level.
I would be down
for gargoyles. That would be cool as well. Maybe just like give us like something new entirely. You know, maybe they give us like stone golem enemies that defend the castle that aren't quite like gargoyles in the sense that we know them, but you know. Could you imagine fighting like a big ass stone automaton thing?
Like that you
for
fight,
a chance at getting.
We fight with the guy that you fight on the Below Ice Mountain quest?
Yeah, I mean that's just like a regular
Golems and Kendozel.
Golem or
yeah,
whatever.
Tiki says the Golem and Kendozel. That one.
Yeah,
sick.
But something adjacent, but not quite that. You know what I have in my head? Michael's not going to get it. Golurk.
Is it a
Golett
Pokemon?
and Golurk. Yep,
Yeah.
it's a Pokemon. Picture that Optimus Prime looking motherfucker. Big stone Golurk looking golem that you have to fight. Similar, obviously, to the ones, they all fall in the same category, just like demons. They all kind of look similar. They all share the similar traits, but like it could be fun. And then that also adds the new, like, maybe there's like a range-based weapon or something like that. So then we can make Grotesque Guardians like extra efficient for some reason. I don't know.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I've said it before. This is a point TMD brought up to me many years ago, and it's something I really stuck with me, and I really like it. Expanding the types of enemies in this horizontal progression game is awesome. Expanding the niches with which we can attack things is awesome. It does feel a little bad when we heavily press a niche. Like 2025 has been the year of the demon. Let's keep it real. 2025 has been the year of the demon. Within the last year, when did Wild Gothic Sleeps come out? Was that last summer?
It's 2024, but yes. It's
so within the last
vein.
within the last calendar year, July to July, we've seen a brand new type of demon, a brand new set of demon bane weapons, another brand new demon with Yama, and now a third new demon with the Doom. We're a little heavy on the demons.
And they updated
but the same thing
gorillas too.
And they did update demonic gorillas so they don't suck. But they did the same thing a couple years ago. They went a little heavy on the dragons. First we had Vorkath, then we had Olm, then we had Hydra. It's okay, that's enough slices, you know?
Yeah.
And then they went a little heavy on high defense monsters after the Fang went out, you know? And like, okay. So I think we're going to shift away from demons after the Doom comes out. That seems like it would be the smart decision, just to not overload one niche with things to do, because a good horizontal game, and we have a good horizontal game. I'm not saying this is what Old School isn't doing. We do this very well. Expands on each of the little niches. For example, Hypaflare just got a leaf-bladed battle axe. Shout out to you, Hypaflare. Just got a leaf-bladed battle axe collection log slot. We could see that niche expanded.
The
leaf-bladed weaponry.
Turoths and Kuroth.
Yeah, but like, also, what is a Turoth and a Kurask?
Oh, Ask. You're right.
Turoth. What are they?
Yeah.
You know, like, you know what a gargoyle is, right? You know what a demon is, like Demon Bane, Golem Bane. You're aware, like, obviously there are some things that are a little bit more, you know, skewed, like abyssal demons are totally made up.
Yeah.
Right? But what are Kurasks and Turoths? Where do they fit in mythology? Specifically more like Norse mythology, because they are in the Fremenic area, the like Nordic part of the map. And what else could we see come into play there, right? Because building off of Norse mythology with the whole basilisk thing, they're not weak to leaf-bladed weapons. So why are Kurasks and Turoths different?
Only damageable by leaf-bladed.
Exactly. They're only damageable by that kind of weapon, just like vampires. Why are they different? What are they? How do we expand on it? If there is a real world cultural tie, let's play on that, because that's always fun. If you just made shit up and you don't have, it's not like Varlamore where there's a very like, we are tying things to and respecting South American cultures in how we make Varlamore. If you just made that shit up 20 years ago, the world is your oyster, dude. Play on that a little bit. I like when they expand the niches.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Golem Bane is a cool, I don't even know if it's new, because honestly, the Baronite Mace may have already had it.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Like, who knew that we already had a Golem Bane weapon?
Genuinely, I did not know this was a category of enemies until this blog came out.
Yeah.
So
this could have been fun for a RuneScape quiz before this blog, but now we're all going to know that answer.
Of course, Tiki knew it.
Of course.
If anyone's going to... Of the people I have met who've played this game, if there is an odd fact about RuneScape, Tiki Mug and Jeoparite are the two people I've met who will know it.
Hell yeah.
If there's a weird ass fact, Tiki Mug and or Jeoparite are going to know it. Like the fact that Golem Bane has existed for several years in RuneScape. Good news, though. when Michael loses his rune pouch again, he can get it back from the mage training arena. I knew he was going to hate that one. I thought he was going to get up and walk away.
I love this change. I really love this change. I'm happy. I am so happy that they're taking it out of two sources where it doesn't make any gosh dang sense. A Slayer reward and an LMS reward. Sure, they're great avenues to receive your rune pouch, but Mage Training Arena is it's the source that we didn't know we needed until they said it. I would have never considered a rune pouch coming from there until they said it. I'm like, duh. So, hell yeah. And it doesn't seem that expensive either.
Broken dragon pickaxe from Volcanic Mine.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that would be a great place to put that. Why did we not do that years ago?
Right.
You know? I don't even dislike the fact that the rune pouch comes from Slayer and LMS because like you use a rune pouch to kill people in the wilderness. And you use a rune pouch when you're doing Slayer.
You use a rune pouch to kill people in the wilderness?
If you buy rune pouch notes, yeah.
Oh, well.
You know how much you save 2 inventory spots if you just bring the regular rune pouch. And a rune pouch promissory note is what? A rune pouch note's 4.7 mil. That's not that bad if you're constantly killing people. You know, and then with Slayer, you use it for alks or bursting or NPC contact. So like it makes sense. Like the rune pouch is very heavily utilized within those 2 parts of the game. But the fact that we are now getting it from the magic training mini game,
hell yeah,
perfect. That makes the most sense. You know,
absolutely. 150 telekinetic points, 150 graveyard points, 1,500 enchantment points. And 200 alchemy. I'm sure Oxie's looking up what Bones to Peaches cost because that was my first question. How does this relate?
Fucking hysterical that you looked that you called that. That is so funny that you knew. You heard the typing on my keyboard and you just right there. Michael and I fight like an old married couple, but you cannot deny the symmetry and the sexual tension that exists between the two of us from time to time, the way we can read each other's minds. Bones to Peaches costs 200 telekinetic, 300 alchemist, 2,000 enchantment, and 200 graveyard. So it's less than Bones to Peaches. So it should take less time to obtain than Bones to Peaches.
Let's go. In Bones to Peaches currently, I think if you do it the most efficient, it's like 3 or 4 hours. I think. I don't have an exact number on that, but once this update goes live, if you've not gotten your rune pouch yet, download and install the Mage Training Arena plugin for RuneLight. It's like hella QOA, and just sit there and
QOA.
Sorry, QOL. It's hella QOL. I don't know what QOA is. That's embarrassing.
Are we leaving that in?
I don't know. I'm gonna do it again. It's hella QOL and
pronounced QOA.
It's left in. It's left in.
We're so close to the end of the blog. I just need to torture Michael a little bit.
We're moving on. It's great. So like the rune cost to get your rune pouch is not going to be that much, even for an Iron Man. And you're going to get magic levels doing it. It's like, gosh, dang. Thank you, Jagex. Thank you. Second favorite thing to come out of this blog is the rune pouch. I don't need a second rune pouch. Hopefully I won't need a third rune pouch. But hell yeah. As an Iron Man who can't just go buy a promissory note, I love it.
You can. They sell them at LMS, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's 75 points.
Tiki just unmuted to say that. That's great. That's funny as hell.
Audibly responded.
He just went, yeah. I'm like, where did that come from?
Oh, hell yeah. That's funny.
God, I love having Tiki in the booth. Speaking of having Tiki in the booth, he accidentally unmuted himself, and as a server admin, he can do that in the booth. And the rare Tiki appearance just he audibly responded to what Michael and I were saying about the rune pouch notes.
Who said that?
But you didn't hear it in the episode. Speaking of Tiki, the moon keys, they're adjusting the bossing moon half. They're adjusting the bossing half because the skilling half is so easy to get, and they are making, which I believe is the tooth half. Yeah, the tooth half is the PVM boss thing, and they're making it easier to obtain, which is cool.
Notably, this is important because they're adding the Helmet of the Moon to the collection log. They say it's tough to obtain, but it's a collectible. You have every right to flex it to your friends. If you've already got one, so those cloggers out there, if you've already got the Helmet of the Moon, you can just use it on the collection log and it'll give you that clog. I didn't even know the Helmet of the Moon was a thing. And before today at 4:05 p.m. Central, I didn't even know that you needed moon keys for anything significant in the game. So here's to that.
You know how when you're watching a sporting event and the team you're a big fan of is already up a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're watching, I'll give a real world example. You're watching the Lions play the Cowboys or Michigan play Michigan State in basketball. And one team is just fucking molly-whopping the other. And it's like when the Lions put up 50 against the Cowboys, or Michigan State just embarrasses Michigan on the basketball court every year, right? This feels like one of those games with these summer sweep-ups, only now the third stringers are in, and we're still putting up points on the board. Because the Arceus spell tweaks are the last second 3-ball. You were up by 80. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
You're still taking that half court shot just because fuck you. That's why.
You can.
Arceus spell tweaks, fine with a lot of them. I don't really care about Dark Demon Bane that much. Thralls no longer requiring blood runes is massive.
Yeah.
Thralls and Death Charge can now fit in the same rune pouch.
The 4-slot rune pouch.
When this update comes out, the 4-slot rune pouch, because it will be, when it comes out, it will be Cosmic, Fire, Soul, and Death.
Okay.
And
you used
now,
to have that like fifth leg there with the soul runes.
Yep. Used to. So whenever I would do Tob, I take about 30 soul runes with me whenever I'm on the e-girl roll. And I use those soul runes for Death Charge. But now I don't need to take blood runes with me anymore when I'm e-girling. And that's another free inventory spot. And that's not just for the e-girl roll at Tob. That's anywhere you would take Thralls and Death Charge. Like Cerberus is another example that comes to mind. This is huge. This is
Big W.
Oh, look at that. They left Amon-Ra St. Brown in when we're up by 40. That's that kind of play right there. This is a big one to end the blog. I'm a huge fan of them changing it from blood to soul.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The Arceus spellbook has received a lot of love. So thank you to Jagex for that. They reduced the amount of fire runes for Dark Demon Bane earlier this year when Yama came out, but now they're going even a step further with swapping the soul runes and the chaos runes. So
I think the way they're wording it right now, and I will confirm by looking at Dark Demon Bane.
Oh wait, they're not swapping it.
Yeah, they're not swapping. So currently it costs
away.
2 soul runes and 7 fire runes. They're swapping a soul for 4 chaos runes.
Okay.
So they're trading it, which does make it kind of irritating at Yama now.
Because you have the bootlegger chaos rune.
Yeah, now instead of having the soul runes, now you have fucking chaos runes.
Yeah.
So at Yama specifically, or anywhere you use Demon Bane weapons with Dark Demon Bane and Thralls and Death Charge, right?
What does the Ward of Arceus spell cost? Because you're using that at Yama as well.
That's a good question.
A bunch of runes.
Does the Ward of Arceus?
I don't have the Arceus spell pulled up.
You're cooking through runes here. Let me see. Ward of Arceus is Soul, Nature, Cosmic.
Wow.
What in the world?
So you have Chaos runes, Nature runes, and Cosmic runes just chilling in your inventory. Because you have the Fire runes, the Soul runes, Cosmic runes are already for Thralls, so that's good.
Yeah, so what you're going to end up doing now is you're going to take blood runes out of your rune pouch. You're going to add natures or chaos into your rune pouch. And then whatever you don't add to your rune pouch, you're going to take with you natures or chaos for Dark Demon Bane, Thralls, and Ward of Arceus. Yes, because you don't Death Charge at Yama.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if Death Charge is something you can get away with on the little spawn guys. I'm not 100% sure, but that's the only place you would use it where it seems like there still might be a straggler rune. But you know what? Whatever, dude. That's fine with me. Is this going to make spellbook swapping any easier? To my people who speedrun Tob, is this going to save an inventory spot when you spellbook swap if you don't have to take blood runes for thralls anymore? Let me know.
Hit us up in the comments. That is the blog, folks. Oxie said it earlier, but this one is actually a lot shorter than the last time we did a summer sweep. I think in the last summer sweep blog, we were like halfway through at this point. So this one's a little bit shorter, which is great, but it's still jam-packed with things that we love. And I think that they're 2 for 2 on massive W's for summer sweep. The last summer sweep we got, they had very little changes once the blog was posted to when they actually put the stuff in the game. So I'm really, really hoping, crossing all my fingers and all my toes, that these Slayer changes just don't get tweaked to hell and that we actually see the things that they've proposed come into the game. Tiki Mug says 3 weeks at minimum. So what is today? That's going to put us at like somewhere in the middle of August. It's the 20th now. We're almost halfway, like we're past halfway through July. So mid-August, which is great.
So if I'm looking at this blog here, right? I went to the original summer sweep up blog from the 30th of May, 2025. It doesn't even seem like they changed it after the fact.
So nothing changed?
There's no update part of the blog. It just seems like, hey, this is changing. We don't care if you like it or not. Well, but it seems like it's like, hey, we're giving you a birthday cake and $10,000, whether you like it or not. We're like, okay.
Twist my arm.
Sure, I guess. And they're like, we're doing it. I don't give a fuck what you think. And you're like, oh, we're fine with that. Okay. So maybe, who knows? Maybe that's the route they're taking. I imagine people are still going to look it over and people have provided feedback. This will be the most wrong statement I've had in a while if I say that. And then by the time this episode comes out, there is a revised Slayer and Misk summer sweep up blog, which would be pretty funny. But you know what?
Please. Stick to your guns, Jagex. You can
par
do
for the
it.
course
you
at this point.
Do it.
Well, they can do it, and so can we. And by it, I mean taking a break. It's been a great time talking about the blog. We are going to go to break. Please enjoy this reused commercial, and we will see you guys here very soon.
The giant spiders keep ruining my quests. I can't take it anymore.
Tell me about it. I can't even mine without those aggressive scorpions attacking me.
You getting tired of being ambushed by creepy crawlies? Well, look no further. Introducing the one and only Splatmasters. I know I ain't the only one that's been pestered by unsightly scorpions and Alcarid. Splatmaster can take care of that faster than a carpet ride to a cactus. And I don't know about you, but I noticed ever since Scurrius broke out of the gate in the sewer, I've been seeing more rats in my house. Splatmasters will come in, set up, and get it handled with our state-of-the-art Splatmaster Cannon 9000. And I know what you might be thinking. A cannon? Ain't that gonna tear down my house? Don't worry, we got you covered. Just give us a call with our sister company, Buildmasters, and we'll get you set up with a quick repair for a measly 2 million GP, of course. Now, what are you waiting on? You gonna sit there and let these mice chew holes in your walls, or you gonna give Splatmaster a call and we can tear it down before they even get a chance to tear a hole in it? I mean, get rid of the rats. Cut that out. Now, don't wait too long, you hear? I just got one of these prepaid phones with about 4 days left on it. To be honest with you, I ain't had a customer yet, so I don't know how I'm gonna pay for next month. Splatmasters can handle all your extermination needs, from rat to scorpions to the man in Lumbridge if the price is right. So give us a call or send a carrier pigeon if it's been more than 4 days. Splatmasters. We might not hit the mark, but we sure make splat.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break because I know that I sure did. I apologize in advance if you hear a weird knocking coming from my audio for the last half of this episode. My cat gets really anxious sometimes and pees on things when I'm not home for several days at a time. And I thought to myself, oh, that's cool. She doesn't like, she didn't pee on my bed. We're good. She didn't pee on my bed. She peed on my couch. So I had to take care of that, and I'm washing things right now. So I apologize. But you want to know what's a lot better than a cat peeing on your couch? The patrons. A lot of things are better than the cat peeing on your couch, but the patrons specifically are up there. So on screen right now are the wise old man, the wise old man tier, the wisest and the oldest of men, some would say. They're on screen right now. They support us every month with the main perk of the wise old man tier being of course, access to the recording booth chat, where you can chat with us about literally whatever. For example, me complaining about my cat or showing off sunburns, because great guns. Some of y'all need to learn about copper tone. We got badly burned over the week, but honestly, I did too. I put this makeup stuff on my mom got, and it didn't work super well. But that's the perk of being a wise old man. You know, you guys are wonderful. There are additional wonderful people from the Patreon that we will shout out as well. Starting, of course, with our KBD tier folks. Last week, we were corrected in shouting out one of our KBD patrons' government names, which we're probably not going to do again because he changed it, which is great. And he's actually going to start us off this week. So, kicking off the KBD patrons, we have Two to Fly, Six Dicks Insider, Brooks 70, my dad. Hi, Dad. Went to lunch with my dad today. Hi, Dad. Cloud Kicker, Dr. Muffin PhD, Elite Oreo Dunker, Jax GIM, JX Riot, Lil Drakey, our third favorite Patreon supporter, Ralph, Run Middle 15, Ryan M, who I believe is new as of this past week. He signed up for Patreon on my birthday. TY King, Rylithian, Sparky Life, and the Big G Jordy. Big ups to our KBD patrons. You guys rule. You know, where you were once king, you are still king, just not in the same way. You can always tell when Michael and I are trying to put some filler in the episode and we're trying to transition from the KBD patrons to the JAD patrons, because on the Patreon website, we have to go through and like deselect and reselect a separate set of filters that we have. So yeah, if it ever sounds like super awkward, it's not that we don't know how to thank you guys. It's that we're really not good at like shifting from one to the other and making it smooth. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Oxie, you edit the podcast. You could just cut that out. Yeah. Anyways, shouting out the JAD tier patrons. These are the folks who support us at the highest tier possible. And they get a shirt once every 3 months, which maybe is coming out soon. The shirt design looks cool. We'll see. So big shout out to Captain Crash, Flood Day, Kyrandia, Mithril Fork, Oxy Satanic Femboy 666, Petite River, Rain Falls Red, Soggy Waffles, the S tier Deviled Egg, and Wolaznik. Thank you guys so much for your support at truly the absurdest of the absurd tiers on Patreon. I'm still weird about people giving me money for talking about RuneScape, and you guys give me the most. And you know what? I love you guys for that. So thank you. You guys help make the show possible by paying our very handsome editor. Despite his whack editing schedule, you guys are still helping us out. Don't make that face at me. You know it's true. If you would like to subscribe on Patreon, you can head over to patreon.com/Xpwaste and subscribe for as little as $1 a month. We always say technically you can subscribe for free, which like you still can. There's nothing wrong with subscribing for free. You just don't get anything when you subscribe for free. So like maybe not worth it. But I mean, hey, to each their own. I'm not going to yuck your yum, babe. But go check that out. There should have been a live stream last week. There wasn't. There might be a live stream this Friday. Who knows? We'll see. I was unavailable this past Friday, and I thought there was going to be a live stream without me, and then there wasn't.
Forgot.
And then in the worst timing possible, I'm also not going to be available next Friday. So maybe you'll get a solo Michael stream tomorrow. Keep an eye on the Discord, and if you don't hear anything by like 7 p.m. Eastern time, ask my boy what's up, because I'm not going to be home. I'm sorry. Busy woman all the time. But that is our Patreon patrons, whomever have you, you know?
Yeah.
It's got to be community question time. What you know about that, Michael?
It is a community question time. I was trying to stall a little bit because I saw a ninja impling and it ran away. So we're just gonna give up that hope of ever catching that ninja impling and move on to the community question, which we asked you guys last week. It was, what's the backstory behind your username or your RSN? Starting out on Spotify, we actually have a lot of comments to get through, so I'm going to start reading them now. Starting off at the top, Rune says, a few of my friends just took the first letter or two of our first names and added Un. And that was our nickname. Rune, Rune ironically, has nothing to do with RuneScape. Shout out to Rune. They're in the recording booth today. Ben says, Huck Tech. If you read it backwards, it spells ketchup. A long time ago, it was one of my brother's friend's Xbox names. And then I was given the name Ketchup later on in life, and thus received the name in RS3 recently with a name change because my OG name of Gilmort was taken. That name was made up by 9-year-old me to be a cool wizard or some shit. So backwards Ketchup. Love it. Next up, Moishan says, hey, Moishan here. Back in RS3 in the 2011 to 2013 era, I was in a clan called the Moist Makers. Each member had a name like Moist and then insert your name, object, or place. We started getting recognized around the game by other people because of how many Moist players there were and how many would run into. Probably one of the funnest groups of friends I've made. Still talk to some of them, and probably the best era of RuneScape. Good time.
Hell yeah.
And like 12 years later, still sticking with it. Moist Sean. Let's go. Rummy Tumbles says, Rummy Tumbles is a spoonerism, giving away my love of rum and my terrible stomach issues. They often conflict. Oh, I didn't know what spoonerism is, though. That's kind of neat. He doesn't explain it, but I'm going to research it later. Moving on to Nate. Nate Dog says, Nate Dog was a nickname given by my cousin to me in the 6th grade. I've used it ever since. I had no idea it was also the name of a rapper until college. Let's go. Well, Nate Dog, you had it first. So definitely.
I don't know if he did, but
you can sue. Next up, though, Alex says, Bizman15 here. Bizman15 is the one I made while I was a physics major at a university in 2015. Hence the Fizzman15. My original account, though, was NickFriend9 because I loved Nickelodeon back in the day. And numbers 1 through 8 all died early on, so I gave them up. What? I love it. Oh. Next up, though, Abandoned. My gamer tag since 2010 has been Abandoned in homage to my late brother because back in the day, we used to terrorize Battlefield Bad Company 2 lobbies with the twin-seat helicopter. I'd pilot, and he'd be my gunner. Our mates used to joke he was the angel of death circling. So we split the name, him, Azrael, the angel of death, and I, Abandon, the demon of destruction. Been using the name ever since to immortalize his memory. I love that. That is so cool.
That's badass. Azrael is also a sick name that I hadn't heard till I watched the show Lucifer. And when I looked it up, I'm like, holy shit, Azrael is real. I think it's it's like Judaism, I think. Azrael is the angel of death in Judaism, sick. Which is cool as hell.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Abandon was the name of a demon, so that's pretty awesome.
I'm so dumb, actually. It's not Abandon. It's Abdidon. My dyslexic brain read Abandon. It's Abdidon.
Type it out. Type it out.
ABADDON.
ABADDON. Abadon?
Abdidon. Ababon?
That's
Abdidon.
ABADDON.
Yeah. There's no N.
Abadon.
There's no N. I'm sorry, Abdidon.
You're saying Abdidon. It's not Abdidon. Abaddon.
Abaddon. Abaddon. Abaddon. B-A-D-D.
Abaddon.
A-B-A-D-D-O-N. Abaddon.
Abaddon.
Where's the B coming from?
Michael, it's A-B-A.
Abba.
Yeah.
Duh. Where's the... You're missing a D. There's 2 Ds.
There's 2 Ds next to each other.
So that doesn't make... You don't like pronounce both of them? I'm just wondering.
My first thought was going to be no. And I was going to make a joke about homeschool.
Abaddon.
But I don't think this is an English word.
Abaddon. And for what it's worth, it's not abandoned. And I apologize. There's no way for me to retroactively go back and change that. I just have to move on and apologize and say Abaddon is your name. Moving on.
So, okay, but I got to love with you. That's a little bit more badass.
It
Azrael
is.
and Abaddon. That's a little bit more a helicopter duo. That's pretty badass. I'm not going to lie. I'm stealing those names for both Pokemon and creatures in Ark. I hope you're okay with that. I've been using Azrael for a while, but Now that I know Abaddon, I'm stealing that bitch for something cool.
Be a really cool name for like a demon class in D&D, like a twin. I don't know if you're a DM out there and you're looking for a cool name for like demon twins or something. Angel of Death. And what did he say the other one was? The Demon of Destruction. Moving on to John, who says in-game name is Buck226. I watched the movie Uncle Buck on New Year's Day in 2005. Then went to see my cousin, and he introduced me to a new game he was playing called RuneScape. And he set me up an account. First thing I thought of was the movie I just watched that afternoon, and I still got it. I still need to go get my 20-year cape on RS3. That's the best. It's like I can remember back in 2005, I was sitting at my dad's computer trying to think of a username, and I was like, what rhymes with Mike? Bike? I was like, wait, I could be Mikey. So Nike Mikey. Anyway, the stuff we come up as a kid is just hilarious. So hell yeah, Buck226. Next up, Joseph says, one tick beers here. All I gotta say is that I'm glad Oxie enjoyed Milwaukee. As a person from northern Wisconsin, all I gotta say is that the UP belongs to us.
Yeah, okay,
Handle
sure.
this.
If you seek a Pleasant Peninsula, go literally anywhere but Wisconsin. Come on now. Don't do that. Don't try to take the UP of all places. You're crazy.
It doesn't really like a mitten and then what, like a trail of smoke? Is the mitten on fire? What are you doing? What are we doing here? We're doing a visual thing for the audio podcast. You got to explain it.
We got the Lower Peninsula, we got the Upper Peninsula, and then we got Wisconsin over here.
Oh, he's giving the middle finger. See.
If I could make a pile of shit with my hands, I'd put Ohio down there.
Listen,
hey,
you don't need to throw that type of shade. Come on.
I'm from Michigan. I always have to throw that kind of shade at Ohio.
We're not doing that. We're moving on. Zapfin is the next one. Zapfin is an anagram for the character Fizban from the Dragon Laced Fantasy books, but also Fizban from the Death Gate cycle. Same authors. To this day, they refuse to admit it's the same character because legal IP reasons, and it's funny. I guess there's yet another version in a more space-based fantasy where he is Zanfib, but I haven't read that one. Anyway, it's a nod to their totally not reused character. I make my own anagrams for character names. Love the show. Keep it up, my dudes. That's cool, actually. I never thought about taking a character's name that you like and just anagramming it. I'm going to start doing that. Very, very cool. Next up, Ketone says, I changed my name to Ketone back in 2013 because I was studying organic chemistry. I thought it was a unique name related to another interest, and it just stuck with me ever since.
I knew I've heard the name ketone before. I just didn't. I was like, is that a chemistry thing? But I guess it is.
Wow. I didn't even know. Moving on, Dinosaur says, my RSN is Dinosaur because I'm a big old paleo nerd. And the guy who owns the RuneScape name Dinosaur wanted like $6 bill. So he just took the name Dinosaur, made it DINO space SOAR.
It's like the guy who wants Oxie. Wants like $4 bill for no reason. I'm like, no.
He wants $4 bill because
seems like
you want it. He knows he can exploit
like,
you.
Okay, but he could try. I'm just not taking it. Okay, cool. I don't know.
So this next one is Windram, and they have a couple. So they said Weft, which is their main, currently inactive. Had it since 2011. Got it from a random word generator set to obscure, and it stuck because plus it's also four letters. I recently heard Magic the Gathering just released something about Weft Hunter, and I'm scared for my safety. Okay. And then his second one is Duskar, which is a GIM, and they are active playing that one. They say nation from which the character Dedu hails in the game Fire Emblem. 3 houses. My groupies and I are all fans of the series, so a couple of us are the relevant names. Well, that's cool. That's actually neat. We tried to do a theme thing with our group Iron Man back in the day when we first started, but it didn't really stick.
It didn't stick because TMD refused to do TNL Father.
Right.
He just did lots of Father. He just did. We're like, hey, we got TNL whatever you were. I was TNL Jaddy for a while, and then it was TNL something else, and then he was like, "Yeah, that's dumb. I'm not doing that." And then just did lots of father.
Literally
Lame.
lots of
So it never
father
really stuck.
from the start.
Yeah.
I was TNL Michael, which was cool, but kind of boring. Anyway, next up, Logan says Canada born because I am the Jason Bourne of Canada. Okay. Goes great with other accounts too. Born Iron is the Iron Man, and Born Bronze is Bronze Man. The Jason Bourne of Canada, though. Interesting. Next up, Andrew says RSN is Ape Prince. I'm part of a GIM in which we all have the ape prefix. We got Ape Warfare, Ape Escape, and Ape Think. My preferred username for everything else is Andrew with the ampersand ROO because his name is Andrew. But most game logins don't allow special characters. That's cool. I actually didn't know that Ape Prince was Andrew. Next up, Steven says, Melvin Man here. Melvin Man, I made this username when I was in 3rd grade because I thought Melvin was a funny name. And here we are, 22 years later.
He's right.
And it's still...
He's right. It's a good name.
Here we are, 22 years later. And it's still a pretty fun name. That's amazing. 22 years later, still... Wow, that's amazing. If I went with my name that I made when I was super young, it would be Kiwi Mike. Because I thought Kiwi was a cool word. Still is, but whatever. Next up, Rambo's granddad says, it was an Xbox gamer tag that became a thing in 2014 when I was joining and hosting car meets in GTA 5. The group of us were called Rambo Gen, and each had its own secondary. I just happened to stumble across granddad because I was the oldest. It's very, 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 very cool.
You know, I don't like that. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like it. And it's not because of the origin of the name. It's because when you said we did car meetups in GTA 5 on the Xbox 360, I immediately thought to myself, GTA 5 wasn't out when the Xbox 360 was popular. That's not a thing. GTA 5 didn't exist on the Xbox 360. It did exist on the Xbox 360 because I pre-ordered it for the Xbox 360 when I was a senior in high school. It's just been that fucking long that I didn't realize that it's from 2 console generations ago. So that's kind of ruined my afternoon, Rambo. But otherwise, neat, you know?
Nothing like a big kick in the nuts to remind you that you're old. Francine has a couple of accounts and she's listed them all here. Francine says, my main, Francine 1225. It's her name and her birthday, which is simple, which is Christmas. She says, my iron, Francine Faye. Faye means iron, but unknowingly, it's a play on my middle name, which is pronounced the same. Very cool. My GIM, which is Furious Fran. Furious is what Faye stands for, and Fran is a nickname. And then Fran 2004. I play a lot of 04 Lost City, and it was and I was not creative to make a good name that I thought, but I later thought of Walkscape. Sick. I like all those. Jason here says Owenology. I think I'm saying that. Owenology. Owenology? I don't know if the O is silent.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know how to say the name
Frick.
either. I've said it on Achievement of the Week and I see it in the CC all the time. I don't know.
We're butchering this one.
But I know who you're talking.
Owenology,
But I know who you're talking about.
It has a cool backstory. So Owenology 1982, winemaker by trade, and my name is the French word for oenologist or wine scientist. That's cool. In 1982 is significant because it was the vintage in Bordeaux that helped make wine more mainstream in North America.
It's pretty cool. Just say I used to be a vintner myself back in the day, though probably not to the degree that you were. So that's pretty cool.
Oh no, Francine hit me with the Ferris. Oh, Ferris. It's pronounced another thing that I didn't know existed.
Did you say Fury? Hold on. Is that how you thought Furious was spelled?
I guess. I don't know.
I thought it was Furious.
It is
like Furious Fran. I'm like, that makes sense. But Ferris is a totally different term. And it's iron.
Ferris.
That's why you see Fe. Fe is the chemical symbol for.
Well, guys,
did you know that, Michael?
It's been fun doing Achievement of the Week.
I genuinely
you guys can just have this segment. I'm too dumb to read. I didn't know this.
Seriously, did you know Fe was the symbol
I knew
for iron on
Fe
the
was a symbol
periodic
for
table?
iron, yes, but I didn't know why, okay? I skipped that part of school.
You skipped a lot of parts of school.
More you know. Listen, I can't be the only one who didn't know ferrous was the chemical name for iron. Anyway, retracting my furious Fran to say ferrous Fran. Ferrous. We have to move on because that was the biggest fumble of my entire life.
I think Psyman 15 is still up there.
Psyman
Especially
15 was
because
hilarious. So this is just
that was up
embarrassing.
there as fumble of the year because you mean embarrassing? Heyo. All right, what's next?
Oh, Mac says, Bird fan Mac, young man, young Mac's iron, young Mac is dead. I like birds. See, that's simple. Michael can read that. Smooth Brain can read that. I can do that. I like birds. This one's fun. My RSN for my GIM is Giant Butts. I got kind of high one day and thought it was a pretty funny name, and I couldn't believe it was available, so I snagged it for myself, and I have been the proud owner of Giant Butt ever since. Let's go. We got one more here, and that is our friend Jay. He says, this was my gamer tag on the original Xbox. Legend Gary was just a play on words, and it stuck. Some call me Legend, some call me Gary, but my name is Jay. If anyone sees me in the game, say hi. Shout out to the TNL Discord. FYI, I posted this on YouTube as well. Just wanted to support you all on both platforms. Well, you are...
What a
king. Thank you. Speaking of YouTube, that's a great transition. Besides Delusional Daddy saying first, shout out to you, Delusional Daddy, for being first. I don't want to get roasted anymore in my own Discord, okay? Stop posting about Iron and Faye. Anyway, moving on to YouTube, where we asked you the same question. This is an acceptable crash out, okay?
Is it? Is it an acceptable crash out because you've proven that you don't know how to pronounce some words?
Yes. Moving on, though. We asked you the same question on YouTube. What is the backstory behind your username or RSN? Logan says, my IGN is Yama bin Laden because I choose to never forget. How many contracts with Century Clouding it took me for whatever they did? I don't know.
To get the Radiant Oath plate, I would imagine.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think Yama bin Laden is tough. But I'll give you props for the play on words.
Jagex Wright says, it's making me nervous to keep homeschooling my kids. Guys, when has it ever been relevant in your everyday life to know that the chemical name for iron is ferrous? When? Other than right now.
All right.
Other than now.
You're doing it. Nope, you're doing it. So you're going to get the Oxie that used to work with young teenage boys that would give me that same stupid ass answer every single time. That's right. Slouching in your chair just like a teenage boy too. It's not about knowing the material. It's not about knowing the material for everyday life. The point of school in that regard, the point of the various classes that you have is to learn people skills. You go to school and you learn about the periodic table of the elements to, number one, learn about things like science so we don't end up in the nightmare situation that we are here, especially in the United States. Sorry for getting political. No, I'm not. You learn about that. So when something scientifically relevant comes up, like climate change, you go, oh yeah, no, I remember talking about this kind of stuff in school, right? You do reading assignments, right? To help you learn how to, this is going to sound mean, I promise it's not, read things out loud without rehearsing them. You ever gone around in class, not Michael, but anybody else, you ever gone around in a classroom and have to read chapters of a book, right?
It's terrifying.
You ever get a textbook and you got 30 pages to read and they say, all right, Matt, you have paragraphs 1 and 2, you have paragraphs 3 and 4, you have paragraphs 5 and 6. You know why they do that? Not to embarrass you. Popcorn reading. Thank you, Thogger. That's the term. You popcorn read so you get better like spoken word literacy. Right? You do literature classes so you're able to have media literacy. You do math courses so you learn problem solving. You do history courses so you understand what to avoid in the future so you don't end up in the nightmare state that we are in right now. Going off of the fucking Mein Kampf playbook here in the US in 2025. It's a shit show. What do we also learn? We learn discipline. We learn time management. We learn proper authority, not in the sense of like you have to listen to all the adults around you, but like sometimes people are going to be your boss and you can't walk into work and slouch in your chair and go, oh, this is stupid. I don't want to listen. You're going to get fired. It teaches team building activities. School is very functional in that way, though the structure I don't think aids in learning because school itself is based off of teaching kids how to work a factory shift, right? So when are you going to know that Ferris is relevant in your everyday life? No, nobody cares. Like whether or not you know all the periodic table of the elements. The point is that when you look at something like Fe, you go, oh yeah, that's Fe because that's what the chemical symbol is because you've learned that in school. And when you see the word and you read it out loud, you think, oh yeah, ferrous. I remember learning about this when I was 15 when I took my basic chemistry class in school. Don't give me that argument because you'll lose every single time. What's the next comment?
Okay. We can't just like go back to the show after that.
We absolutely can.
We need a moment to decompress. I don't know if you heard the moment of silence in the Han Nanny episode, but it was there. The entire gall dang thing. We took a great moment of silence. We're not going to do that today, but I need to absorb what that was because that was not pre-planned or pre-rehearsed. That was from the heart, and I know that you care. Thank you.
Don't patronize me for being good at what I do professionally outside the show.
Don't take it as a patronizing comment. I'm trying to say thank you because you care. Not everything I do is to patronize you.
She just said mom's tangential in the chat.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Mom's a little tangential.
Mom and dad are fighting. No, it's daddy and papa. Thank you. Anyway, we have to move on. And there's only a few more. So, Desido says, my RSN is damn. Back in college, my friends and I rolled up to a stoplight and all the lights were red. My friend Kelly looked at me and went, damn. Ever since then, I said that that'd be my username for everything. We love a simple king. Let's go. So easy. Next up, one of our favorites, one of the OGs, Ryan says, I was Gecko on some old niche forums back when the internet was cool, and that was taken in OSRS, so I tried the alt spellings until one stuck. And I also like Ted Lasso. But Ted Lasso and Led Tasso were both taken, so I've got the alts for most of the rest of the cast. Let's go. So it's Gecko and then Coach Beard. Moving on, Sarah Doman says, the origins of my RSN for my brief time as a creator, I wanted a name that would be relevant to RS and available on all platforms. Sarah Doman is just kind of fit that bill. Let's go. Sarah Doman 992.
Is this the same guy that always used to comment on my stinky ass chair?
You know, I don't know.
This might be the same guy who changed his name to Oxie's chair for a while.
Maybe.
So I got my eye on you, Sarah Doman. I got my eye on you.
We got a couple more, and we're going to get done with this section. Ryan says, my wife played roller derby. Her name was and her derby name was Blue Violent. Named my main after that. Last up, Santa OSRS says, simple. I am Santa Claus. Ho, ho, yo. Oxie, got that quiver yet? Or do I need to bring you one? Whoa, I didn't know you could ask Santa for Christmas.
I gotta keep it a buck with you, Santa. If you can bring me a quiver just to get the Xpwaste to just shut the fuck up, that'd be great. Because I don't even think I logged into the main this week. So that'd be awesome.
Let's go. Well, that's the community question, folks. We haven't had a long community question section in a long time. So I'm glad that you guys enjoyed answering the question about your username. If you get people to talk about themselves, generally, you can get them to talk for a long time because people love to talk about themselves. So thank you for answering the community question. If you want to answer this week's question, it will be, what is your most ideal block list? It can be for any Slayer Master, and it could be any block list you want to give us. If you don't have all 7 slots, you don't have to give us that. But actually,
pretend like you do.
Pretend like you do. We're gonna hear a lot of
give us no more than 7.
Yeah, no more than 7. And we're gonna hear a lot of repeated monster names the next time we read community questions. So that'll be fun. You can answer that question on the comment section on Spotify or under the pinned comment of this YouTube video. Moving on to what is likely to be a very short section compared to last week, we have Oxie up next doing Achievement of the Week.
Indeed, we do, and indeed it is. Folks, Achievement of the Week is substantially shorter this week because it's only for a week. It's how Achievement of the Week is meant to be. Last week was an entire month of achievements. This week is just a week. And we're going to start this week of weeks off with the skilling category. We're just going to go down the list like we are reading the document. Kicking us off here, we have McPuppy achieving 99 attack. At least I think it's McPuppy. The A would be where the 4 is. I don't know. Rock Arm Man achieved 99 Slayer with just one skill left to go. Zerniak achieved 99 crafting and 99 fire making. One Tick Beers achieved 99 strength. Secco needs to get some goddamn help. Secco achieved 99 cooking, and I felt so, I don't know what the term is. I don't think offended is the right term, but I just felt so shook. I had to look at the screenshot like 3 or 4 times because I wasn't actually sure what I was looking at when I first saw the screenshot. I need you guys to look at that and tell me that that's an RS player who's okay. Stop it. Get some help. Like, do I understand that we did it possibly just for the weird screenshot? Absolutely. Why is there a meatball? Oh, it's a home teleport. I thought the home teleport thing on top of the cooking thing was a random meatball. I was going to get real upset. Just the more you look,
The worse it gets.
the more it hurts. And I think what upset, like, he's in VC with other people.
Yeah.
So other people are
Yeah.
aware of this monstrosity. This guy's got to be stopped. But you got 99 cooking, so congratulations. The feds are after you, by the way.
You're definitely on a list.
Definitely on a list. This list, the achievement of the week list. That's what I'm talking about. Court achieved 99 agility. Def Not Ruben achieved 99 range, mage, and strength. Bob Dole achieved 99 fishing. DeHunk Sky or DeHunk Ski, because I got a level with you. You've messaged me about it, and I've already forgotten. My bad. Achieved 99 attack. The Big G Gabe achieved 99 mage and 99 defense. Wheat Toast, who did correct me in the chat and said it's Wheat Toast, not What Toast. So I knew I fucked that one up. I knew it had to be Wheat Toast, but you never know. He achieved 99 smithing. And Ivan Ooze, while we were recording, achieved 99 farming. But there was one more achievement within the skilling category. A name I just love to say out loud because it's a name, all right. I Poop Liquids achieved 2277 total level and maxed their account. Congratulations, my friend. Enjoy your max cape. I almost feel bad for you that you maxed before sailing because now you're going to get to know the glory of the max cape just to have it taken away. That said, don't let that get you down because the max cape fucking rules. Congratulations, friend. Moving on over to the combat section of Achievement of the Week, we have a first fire cape with a double-double, if you can actually believe it. Making his second appearance this week, McPuppy or McP4PPY, probably McPuppy, got their first fire cape this week. W. Hell yeah. Additionally, Diesel Daddy killed the Corrupted Gauntlet for the first time. We do have a couple of combat achievement completions. Diesel Daddy as well also completed the hard combat achievement diaries, as did Two to Fly. And Strom achieved the master CAs. Every time I look, I just get further and further away, I feel, from the combat achievements. I'm so dumb. I'm on the wrong account. I clicked on my account and went, holy shit, how much stuff has come out? I'm 541 points away from Masters. I'm logged into the Iron. Never mind. I don't know.
You're closer to me.
But we do have some.
I'm 574 from Elite.
That's two elites, though.
Yeah,
not
that's what I'm saying. I'm
Masters.
574.
Moving on, though, we do have some kits. Both Clay. Well, Clay got the Missouri kit. Not both Clay. It's just Clay. Good old Clay. Got the Missouri kit. And the Taco Daddy got his Fang kit. Just cracked off a solo 500.
Wow.
Gonna have the fancy Fang for the upcoming Varlamore update that came out yesterday. So, hell yeah, big dog. Wrapping things up very nicely with this week's Achievement of the Week. Here in the miscellaneous section, we do have 2 brand new quest capes. Paul Muad'Dib got it on his iron, and Francine got the quest cape on her main after completing Desert Treasure 2. Additionally, in this cape section, Wallaby achieved their diary cape, Vacant Void achieved his music cape, and Francine, with the double cape week again, achieved her music cape. So 2 double capes from Francine twice in a row, which is awesome. And that's Achievement of the Week, folks. Just short, sweet, to the point. If you guys did something awesome and you want to tell us about it, head over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL. Post it in our levels and achievements chat. I feel like we say it every week, and it cannot be understated that almost every achievement is something that people celebrate, unless a screenshot looks like Sekko's, in which case, get some help. Looking at you, Raymer. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help. But truly, every achievement, even the ones with weird-ass screenshot orientations, are stuff that people think are cool. We've got, even just looking now from the most recent achievements, we got 99 smithing, we got Rogue's outfit, we got a Blue Dragon task, we got an imbued Slayer helm, and we got 99 fire making. We only really shout 2 of those out on the show, but that doesn't mean people aren't going to celebrate the cool shit that you do. If you do it and you're proud of it, we want you to tell us about it. Why is that, Michael? Because we are objectively the best Discord for Old School RuneScape in the world. Probably not informationally speaking, like we can't give you game updates and things like that. It's probably best to go to the actual RuneScape Discord for that. But as far as best RuneScape community goes, we got it by a mile. Easy. Easy. Got it by a mile. But that is Achievement of the Week. Now, I had in my head a couple days ago a fun question, and I had it all teed up, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what it was, and it breaks my heart. It truly breaks my heart. I can think of one off the dome that isn't quite maybe what it was, but it might be close. So, Michael, I know I have a fun question, but I know you don't care because I just saw you look over and I remember why you don't care.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that you lost it, but I was going to tell you, find it again, write it down, because that's what you should do. Don't trust the old steel trap, But yes, we do have a fun question. We have 3 of them, actually. And I want you to pick a number between 1 and 3. I'm going to shuffle these up. And we're for the next 3 weeks, counting this week, so this week and then 2 weeks after, we have postcards to get through. So,
wow.
I know. I went to the mailbox and there was 3 postcards in there. So I want you to pick 1, 2, or 3. And that's the one that we'll do today. I'm not going to show you.
Pick number 3, my lord.
3. We're going with the old manta ray. Hell yeah. I'm going to keep the other 2 a secret. Not going to show you guys.
That's probably a stingray given the size, but
sure. Pedantic ass. It's a ray.
Yes.
So, this is a ray from, this is actually a cow nose ray. These charismatic. These
charismatic.
I know how to read. I'm reading. You know what it actually was? This is the science behind what goes on in my brain. You can't see the next word. So when it says charismatic, I was already reading the next word, and then my brain short-circuited because I can't read the next word. The charismatic rays are easily identified by the shape of their nose. They are frequently found in Virginia's waters, and they use their fins to uncover the shellfish they eat. You'll see them in the Ray Touch tank in the Virginia Aquarium. These charismatic rays. So they're cow nose, actually. They're neither of the ones that we said. Hell yeah. This comes from RS6 Nate. He says, greetings. Here's my question. If you had to pick a pet for sailing, what would it be? I'm a local to this aquarium, and I went for an anniversary trip. So thanks for all the content. RS6 Nate. Hell yeah, dude.
It's another name I've seen quite a bit.
Cow nose ray. If you had to pick a sailing pet, what would it be? We're going to ban Rune. I'm just going to say it. We're banning Rune from the Discord. I don't care if you pay us money. He said he wants another heron pet. What? No, thank you. One pet I
See,
would.
Rune, that's an example of that. See, that's an example of saying someone else's joke louder and getting in trouble for it, not getting a bigger laugh. I think what's a good pet for sailing? Obviously, the first one that comes to mind is a parrot, like a pirate. I feel like a nice, like, oh God, what are they called? Some kind of macaw or something. Like,
yeah, a macaw.
Green parrot. I'm gonna see.
You're right.
Green parakeet, something like
macaw.
that. Yeah, like that kind of. Again, what if I search green parrot pirate? Will it show up? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this parakeet type thing. That's a very like this is the most standard thing I think they could give us for a sailing pet. Not quite that, Tiki. That.
Oh, the tiny one. So
yeah, like that's something that I would think would be a sailing pet, but honestly, I think that's a little basic.
Brian says it can't be a parrot because we have the shoulder parrot, which is the exact thing that you're wanting, basically.
Yeah, but just make a better one. What? That's like saying we can't have. Oh my God, I was going to say we can't have any cat-based pets because we already have cats. We don't have any cat-based bosses. Other than that fucker in the Coliseum, we don't really have any cat-themed bosses. Huh.
I guess you could say like we can't have the Abyssal Orphan because we already have Abyssal Demons. I don't know. I see what you're
They
cooking
could sit on the opposite shoulder. But like that feels too basic. So the next thing I thought, I was like, what about like a barnacle? But how's a barnacle going to follow you around?
Barnacles are nasty.
You know?
Gross.
Yeah, but like barnacles are nasty, but they end up on boats.
Yeah. But why would I want that behind me? You ever seen the barnacle videos where they're like scraping them off the big like sailing ships? That's a little tangent, but that's just terrifying. You know the big seagull
I think
that flies around when you're catching karambwan? I want that guy. The big chunky boy, big flappy wings flying around the karambwan place. DKP. Put him behind me, and I will. That's a bird I like. If that was a sailing pet, I think I wouldn't have as many complaints. That big boy, the pelican, I think his name is. He's a pelican, not a seagull.
Is it okay? Well, now I gotta go because it might be an albatross.
Oh,
but I don't want to get too pedantic.
I think a swimming based pet would be really cool, but then how does it function on land? I know that the Kraken has a little puddle of water that it walks in, but I would rather have a pet that would be.
It is a pelican. Yeah, it is a pelican, not an albatross.
I would like to see a pet that could function like it would follow your boat, like an orca.
So I feel like the best would be like a shark or a dolphin.
Yeah,
and I think it would be the best because when it's just not there, make it float like a Pokemon when they're out of water, or just give it like RS3 has pets in like water bubbles. Because like this is where to me RuneScape as a video game comes into play. Because like, but it looks so weird if there's a fish following you around. It's a fucking video game. Who cares? You know?
Yeah.
The whole whale lord would be crazy, dude. I feel like it's got to be, I don't know, a sailing pet. Oh God, what are the birds they used to send off to see if they could find land?
Dove,
like a dove or something.
Dove or a seagull.
Maybe it could be like a rat because rats are on boats a lot. They were, I don't know. Maybe it could be like a crab because people like the bank crab. Again, it feels basic.
The crab could be fun.
I feel like it's got to be some sort of bird.
Either a bird or a fish. And if it's anything that's like an inanimate object, it's going to feel weird. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't have any inanimate objects as pets. They're all like creatures or things that are living.
We have a pet rock.
I mean, we have a pet rock, but it doesn't, like, yes, it follows you, but it would be weird, like, if you had a ship wheel that just, like, rolled behind you. That would be cool.
Actually be
really cool,
but
it would be kind of breaking the mold. It would open up a whole new avenue for things like a crafting pet or a construction pet, where there's not really an animal or creature associated with the skill, but it gives you an inanimate object to gain from the skill. Pretty neat.
You know what the issue with the parrot pet would be? Like a parakeet. It looks so much like the Quetzin. That would be a problem. I think I might be back to my barnacle idea. That would be pretty cool. Skeleton pirate captain could be cool. That could be a cool one.
Would be neat.
Well,
RS6 Nate.
Narwhal.
Oh, narwhal. Yes. Narwhals are
Little
cool.
tiny baby narwhal.
I
Which just like
I
a big
can
old.
dig it. I'm very interested to see what they do for the pet, if they have a pet for sailing. I don't know if it's been confirmed or denied, like outright. I feel like at this point, I feel like the JMods are dancing around the question. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I feel like they are dancing around it, but they may have confirmed it. But RS6 Nate, thank you so much for the
An
postcard.
otter or a seal? Okay, an otter or a seal could go extremely hard.
Otter would be hella cute.
Tiki brings up an interesting point. They put out cosmetics for different pets. I think the sailing pet's going to be difficult because of all the ways that we train it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think otter or seal, Rune, you might have it like a sea otter pet, because that could easily go on land and follow your boat around in the water. That'd be real good.
That'd be neat.
Could you imagine a seal like a little bouncing just behind you like that? That could be real good.
I
That
honestly,
could be real good.
I don't think, as long as they don't do something like they did with the heron, I would be fine with anything.
What's wrong with the heron?
The heron is not. Never mind. We're not going to get into it. RS6
No,
Nate,
go ahead.
Thank you so much for the postcard.
What's wrong
And
with
your
the heron?
cow nose Ray. We've talked about this on the show already, and I'm not going to tangent on why I think the heron is the dumbest pet for a fishing skill. Okay, that's my boundary, and I would like you to respect that.
Well, I'm respecting your privacy by knocking, but asserting my authority as your father by coming in anyway. Herons catch fish.
I don't want you coming in anything.
That's a soundbite if I've ever heard one. Well, folks, that's the end of this fun question. We got a couple more fun questions lined up in the tubes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I know I think Kyrandia said it was a little bit of a weird episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, talking about the Slayer Summer Sweep Up, then whatever the hell the second half of this episode was. If you guys want more of us, there is a link tree down in the description of this episode that has everything you could ever need. We are so violently inactive on socials that we just don't check them. Sorry. We maybe should do that, but we're two grown men with jobs. We don't. I'm sorry. Maybe we can hire a social media intern. We're not going to do that, but it'd be funny if we did.
I'm very anti-billionaire right now. Like, I don't even really check my social media that I have for my personal. So it's not getting checked from Xpwaste.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, you guys are awesome. And we will see you all next week for another. Will we see you next week? I'm not 100% sure.
Maybe.
If we see you next week, I'm glad that we're here. There's also a very real chance we don't. Michael and I both have some IRL things going on next weekend, and we may not be able to find time to record an episode. So if we don't see you next week, we do sincerely apologize. But if we do, see you then. Bye, everyone.